this team. You don't have any notable playmakers. Like, again, the most popular or most well-known Brown is Johnny Manziel, who's firmly planted on the bench. Like, at least Travis Benjamin and Gary Barnidge, I think entering Week 7, it's safe to say that they're legit producers for this team.
Well, yeah, they are the producers for the team. I mean, there's nobody else on this team that's capable of making plays right now. Nobody's stepping up. Nobody's coming through with big plays, except for Gary Barnidge and Travis Benjamin.
Yeah.
Brian Hartline's non-existent. Dwayne Bowe. At some point, John DeFilippo swears to the Almighty that the team is going to need him because it's a long season. But
they need him
they
now.
haven't yet gotten to that point, apparently. So $9 million right down the toy, and for what? For 2 games in a meaningless season? Get out of here. He's overmatched, too. You want to talk about coordinators that don't know what they're doing, they're just grasping at straws. We got perfect examples right there. A coordinator who believes a wide receiver that's paid $9 million will eventually impact the season, and a defensive coordinator who thinks that this team is not capable or is better than what they're showing. No, they're not, because they haven't showed it all season.
Matt, I'm going to go against you on the DeFilippo part. I think maybe that's lip service from being told that Bo has to stay on the team here. But overall, I think John DeFilippo, for what he was given, for the lack of weapons and options, has done a pretty good job this year. Yeah,
he has, but when he talks, he sounds stupid by saying Dwayne Bowe will have an impact this season. That's more my point. That he in that regard, maybe he's overmatched with the media aspect of things, but from a coaching standpoint, he's showing progress. I mean, this was a nothing offense when he took it over, and he got an old quarterback who everybody thought was off the scrap heap, and he's made him a pretty viable option for this team on a team that A, is devoid of playmakers, and B, have no other option at the quarterback position right now.
Yeah. Matt, before we get to our AFC North SportsInteraction.com's picks of the week, real quick, with the Johnny Manziel incident, and while the NFL tries to sort it all out, as far as this affecting his playing time going forward, do you think this has hurt him with the coaching staff? Because Coach Pettin came out and said, hey, in the building, he's been great and all that. Or has this had an effect where they're like, all right, well, you know what? Even if we're out of things or it gets close, we're going to stick with Josh?
It doesn't seem like that's the case, to be honest with you. It seems like they're behind him 100%, and they believe everything that they've heard reported, and they don't think it's a huge deal and that the league will sort it out and everything will be good to go. I think that's a huge assumption right now.
Yeah.
Because it could come back that he will end up getting a suspension of some sort because of a violation of player conduct. We will see how this turns out, but I don't think it's hurt the standing with the team. I think it's hurt the standing in the locker room, but I don't think it's hurt the standing with the management. And ultimately, the locker room stuff means next to nothing because they're going to go to bat for the guys that they brought in, and they're going to throw everybody else under the bus, which they've proven adept at doing. I mean, look at the Joe Hayden incident.
Sure.
When he was, hurt with a broken finger and couldn't go, they tossed him under the bus. But Johnny has an issue, and they say it's disturbing, but the guy's been A+ in the building, and it's like, oh, man, like you're really hitching your wagon to this kid, and you could end up getting burned pretty badly.
Well,
but, yeah, I think as long as Jimmy Haslam owns this team, Johnny's in good standing.
Do you think, or I guess what's your gut that Joe Hayden goes this week? Is he looking more promising coming out of that concussion protocol? Didn't play last week?
I'd say it's a 75-25 that he plays.
Okay.
I think Joe will find a way to get back on the field. If anybody wants to be on the field, it'll be Joe Hayden. He'll fight through whatever he's got to fight through, and he'll get through the protocol, okay? The key is if he can practice and not have a setback.
Yeah.
If he all of a sudden goes in and practices, looks okay on tape, but then complains of headaches, he's back at square one. Like, they've got to start all over. So hopefully he'll be able to make it through practice quickly, or not quickly, but calmly, and everything will be okay. Like, if he's okay from the neck up, he'll be fine to play on Sunday.
Yeah. You're listening to The Dawg House, brought to you by SportsInteraction.com, your inside look at the Cleveland Browns. I'm Andy McNamara alongside Matt Florjancic. Get us on Twitter at AndyMC81, at Matt Florjancic. Let us know your score prediction for Week 7. Browns in St. Louis to take on the Rams. Let's get to our AFC North SportsInteraction.com picks of the week.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money. Money, money, money.
Yeah, all right. Some Shane O'Mac, money, money, money. Let's see if we can make you some with SportsInteraction.com. And a reminder, it is a Dawg House special, folks. You go to SportsInteraction.com/Browns. SportsInteraction.com/Browns. And Sports Interaction will give you 100% bonus up to $200 for your initial deposit for new members when you sign up. So if you deposit $50, they give you an extra $50 to use. If you go $100, they give you $100. So a great offer. Please check it out. SportsInteraction.com/Browns. They do much more than football, too. You do baseball playoffs, MMA, UFC, all the hockey, all that good stuff. So, Matt, very happy to have them on. Let's get to the AFC North picks of the week. The Cincinnati Bengals on a bye. The Pittsburgh Steelers at Kansas City. Now, this is interesting. This line is closed at the moment, and it's because it is unknown whether Big Ben Roethlisberger will play. It is going to be, and really, Matt, I won't believe what Mike Tomlin says, head coach of the Steelers, whether Roethlisberger is going to play or not. They say Landry Jones is prepping as if he is going to be the starter until kickoff, because this is they'll have him on questionable till the end so they can play him, but it's such a competitive advantage.
Oh, yeah, without question. To know that your quarterback is going to play, but you don't have to declare that until 90 minutes before the game, huge competitive advantage. And that's why you don't believe Mike Tomlin until you see the lineup on Sunday.
No, exactly. Now, okay, I guess with Kansas City, if it's Landry Jones who looked good in relief, would you put your money on KC, or would you expect that the Steelers, hey, they beat Arizona without Big Ben and with Landry Jones because they pull off another upset against a lesser team on the road?
Heck no, I'm not putting my money on Kansas City. Kansas City can't do anything without Jamal Charles right now, and they're showing it. So I would, depending upon how big the spread is, it ends up being, I would take the Steelers to cover.
You know what? I'm gonna go the same way. I've zero confidence. I like Travis Kelce as a weapon at tight end for the Chiefs, but really, overall, they just look like a mess, and Andy Reid looks over his head there in Kansas City. So it doesn't matter who starts at quarterback. Steelers, unfortunately, find a way. Go to the Monday Nighter and finish off with the Browns game. Baltimore Ravens into Arizona to face the Cardinals. Battle of the Birds. The Cardinals, snake-bitten, burned, surprisingly, by the Steelers last week with their third-string quarterback. Matt, we've talked all season how good this team is. They've had a couple hiccups, but they are favored, again, on SportsInteraction.com. Arizona, the spread, favored by 7.5. Do you take the spread? Do you take the Cardinals to beat Baltimore by that margin?
I do. I think they have enough offensive weapons to do everything that they have to do to win the game, and also they're coming off of a pretty embarrassing loss to the Steelers, so they're going to be hungry to get after it, and that means that they're going to be motivated and able to move the football, and then they're also going to be able to get to Joe Flacco, and with his lack of weapons right now, I don't like Flacco's chances to win this ball game or cover.
No, 7.5. I'm always leery when it's over a touchdown because there's so many things that can happen, but in this case, pays $1.95. I'm going to take the Cardinals. I'm going to go 7.5. I think they win it by 10. Statement game for the Cards to really get back into proving that they are true playoff contenders, and not just playoff, but Super Bowl contenders. So that brings us to the Cleveland Browns game. All right, the Browns in to face the St. Louis Rams. Now, Matt, our records of the year, I've gone with my heart many times, and I have been burned. As on Monday's show, the Bon Jovi shot in the heart. I'm 1-5. You're 3-3. You're using the smart money here, okay? So our SportsInteraction.com spread for the Browns game, St. Louis favored by 5.5. Are you taking the Rams at 5.5?
No, I'm not. I think it's going to be a 3-point game. I think the Rams win, but I don't think they cover.
So Rams, I'm going to write this down. Rams win, don't cover. I think Browns win by 3 points too. I don't think they're going to be, I don't think St. Louis covers that at all. That offense is just too sporadic. And even despite Todd Gurley, like unless they just hand off to him every single time, which they may do, They may do that. Maybe that is the best strategy. I think the Browns do have a chance to win it late with a Travis Kunz. He's perfect for the year, knock on wood. Field goal to win, a tight one on the road, and tease us just a little bit longer. So pays $1.91 on sportsinteraction.com, 5.5. Take the Browns to cover that. We'll see if I can get my second prediction win of the season there, Matt. Hasn't been good so far. You've been a little bit smarter.
You bet with your heart, and you end up, pulling for the team that you want to win, and you end up making decisions that maybe you shouldn't have. And
right.
I got caught up in it early in the season because I went with my heart saying go against the Browns, and they burned me twice, and then all of a sudden they've been on a hot streak lately. They've gotten me a couple wins in a row. So you never know. This team is the most difficult to predict because every time they have any type of expectations on them, they find a way to screw up and get in their own way. Yeah. And you're hoping that someday that they find a way to live up to expectations and actually make plays that win games.
At least tease us. So again, go to sportsinteraction.com. Use this URL, folks, and again, make your deposit, and they will match it. The good folks at sportsinteraction.com, they will match it up to $200. So it's sportsinteraction.com/Browns. Sportsinteraction/Browns. Type that in, and they will match up to $200 of your initial deposit. So you put in $20, they give you $20. $100, they give you an extra $100 to go. So great offer there just for listening to the Dawg House. Okay, let's hear your tweets and score predictions for Sunday versus the Rams in St. Louis. At AndyMC81, at Matt Florjancic. And again, give sportsinteraction.com a follow at SIA Sport on Twitter. So from at JMac Travel says, feeling the Browns this week. They are close. Win by a field goal. Okay, so similar to what we think there, win by a field goal. And let's see, got one more here I think we have time for. Has from at Down Goes Brown, says St. Louis, that defense is too good, and Gurley overcomes the Browns D-line. I would not be surprised by that, Matt. I'm just hoping for the Nick Foles ineptitude and lack of weapons, and that somehow, I don't know how, but that somehow Todd Gurley does not get 4 touchdowns and absolutely control this game.
Yeah, if he gets 4 touchdowns, they
will
might cover the spread at that point.
Yeah, and he very well could. Like this guy is absolutely legit. So it's. Matt, I just wish I could have some sort of feeling, some sort of inkling that the run defense could stop it. That's really where it begins. Do you see Josh McCown having a bounce-back game?
I think he'll play better. I don't think he can play much worse, but I don't know that it's going to be enough if they can't stop the run because the time of possession will go in favor of the Rams, and they'll be able to take off the clock, and they'll have to look to Josh McCown to get very quick scoring drives, and I just don't know that you can go blow for blow with a team who attacks your weaknesses and exploits the hell out of them. I just don't see them being able to do it. So they have to control the clock, and Josh McCown has to have the ball in his hands, and the offense has to stay on the field. But more importantly, the defense has to get off the field on third down because they can't do that.
Yeah, they can't get worn out. Great point, too, on the time of possession. If you run the ball, it will really wear them down. So, all right, folks, let's cross our fingers and hope for the best. Again, thanks to our new sponsor, sportsinteraction.com. Check them out, sportsinteraction.com/Browns for your special offer. Get your bonus match, your first deposit match up to $200. So, for Matt Florjancic, I'm Andy McNamara. This has been the Dawg House, your inside look at the Cleveland Browns. Go Browns!